Hi guys, good to have you all back. Let's talk ink. Yes, why don't we? I have almost all my inks on my desk. I have a couple more very old ones that I bought at thrift shops and such that I have no clue about. I don't use them, and they're in a box far, far away. But these are the inks that I actually use. Now, why am I making this video? Because there are 12 new colors out. Versafine Claire brought out 12 new colors. Yes, and I asked you guys, do you want me to do swatches? Which means I'm going to show you what the color is, how they stamp, and compare them to the colors that I already had, because I had quite a few. That's a lovely video, but it's going to be a short video. So I was thinking, let's just do an in-depth video on inks. Now, disclaimer, guys, I am not a mixed media artist. I have actually not a lot of knowledge about inks. However, I do use them all the time, so I have some experience with them. So I can share you my experience and opinions, but they are my own and they're very personal. So I might like a brand or a color, or I like distress oxides over distress inks. I cannot even tell you the difference. You guys try to explain to me, but you know, if you're not a mixed media artist, it doesn't make any sense. So mind you, I'm gonna tell you what I like and what I would do with them. You can do something completely different, or have completely different opinions on them. Yes. So we're gonna do swatches for sure. I'm gonna swatch the new collection from Versafine Claire, compare them to what I already had. But first, I'm going to talk to you about the different brands that I have on my desk, what I like and what I don't like. So for sure, the biggest collection I have is, of course, Mr. Tim Holtz's inks. I don't have everything, but I have a lot. I have a lovely system for it. Isn't it lovely? Yes, it's normally a spice rack. So, yes, I did this. And he has distress oxide and distress ink. I am not even going to try to explain what the difference is. I know with the oxide, if you do something with oxide and then you splatter them with water, they react to it. Yes, I'm not a water splatterer or what have you. But I also like that they're more sort of opaque. Yeah, sort of. But there's a difference between the two of them. I prefer the oxides. Can you tell? Yes, the light gray ones are all the oxides, and then the colored ones are all the inks. I have bought 3 inks colors myself. The other ones I bought in a big sort of from someone on a marketplace, like a collection from someone. But I prefer the oxides. Also, I have noticed that there is an actual difference in colors, because I had Vintage Photo for a long time, the distress ink. I didn't like it. I absolutely didn't. I was like, what is everybody on about this Vintage Photo? I was too orange for me. I just didn't like it. So for the longest time, I went with Walnut Stain. Better color for me. But then I invested in a Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. And I love this one. They are actually completely different colors. The same with Scorched Timber. Swatched both of these. Love both of them. But they are completely different colors to me. Well, to me at least, they are. So I have a difference between the colors from Mr. Holtz and then the real distress colors. Yeah? Loads of them. Shall we start with this color here? Because there are some must-haves in this range. So these are the, well, I'm going to call them the grunging up distress colors. If I want to ink an edge of a piece of paper or a project or something like it, I use these colors. I hardly ever go to green or red or what have you. I think the most common one is the Vintage Photo. As I mentioned, you have, I'm not going to swatch all of these guys. That will be the longest video ever. You have the Distress Ink that is more orangey, and the Vintage Photo is just more brownish. It is a medium color, like a medium brown color. So if you want a little bit of, well, aging something up, Vintage Photo is a really good one. Then you also have tea dye. The same with the tea dye. I don't like the Distress ink. You can already tell by the, well, this is a very old packaging, I must say. This is a very old one. It's still juicy though. I can still use it. The tea dye. The tea dye is if you have a white page and want to take off the white, but don't want it to be colored. Just taking off the white. I use my tea dye for this because it looks like you've tea dyed the paper. Yeah, again in the oxide. So this is the lightest one, and then there's this one. Now from the lightest one, I'm going to go to the darkest one. It's the newest one. Well, it's the last one that Mr. Holtz has sort of invented. It's Scorched Timber. It looks greenish, but it's not. It's a very dark brown. I use Fallen Leaves from Versafine Claire all the time, and this is sort of the distress color for Fallen Leaves. Again, the ink is way darker than a Distress Oxide, so these are different colors. I still prefer the Distress Oxide, but if you are going to invest in inks, if you like inks, I would buy both of them. To be honest. And then you have the other brownish colors. Now there are 2 of them that I actually don't like, but it's my opinion. And 3 of them that I absolutely love. I'm gonna start with the ones that I absolutely love. Ground Espresso, my absolute darkest favorite before Scorched Timber. Scorched Timber is even darker than Ground Espresso. You can see how much I love this because I put my dauber on it and it doesn't even say Ground Espresso anymore. So Ground Espresso, very good one to have. Then the color below Ground Espresso that I used for the longest time, until I realized that Vintage Photo in the oxide is fantastic, is Walnut Stain. It is a darker color. It's lovely for grunching. It's a brown one. Then I tried out Frayed Burlap. Absolute favorite. It has more grayish. It's a grayish greenish brown. Also, if you're gonna do some splattering with water, this gives the most amazing effects. It's like an oil stain or something like it. So if you're gonna do some mixed media, I prefer Frayed Burlap. Now the 2 that I don't really enjoy is Gathered Twigs. Gathered Twigs is an okay color, but I like Vintage Photo or Walnut Stain better. And then Brushed Corduroy is something that I absolutely don't like. I'm just gonna say it, guys. It's a poo-poo color. I don't know. It just reminds me of baby diapers. Yeah, I've used it once or twice, but more as like a darkish yellowish color. So no. I'm gonna give you some advice if you're just starting out, guys. Yes, and you're gonna invest in something to distress with. This is the number 1, Vintage Photo. Just to start out with. If you want to be grunchier, then you go Ground Espresso. And if you want to try something different, Frayed Burlap. I could not do without these 3 colors. And I prefer the oxide anytime. Yes, if you want it a little bit more grungy, a Scorched Timber is up there. Really should be my number 4. So that's my opinion on sort of the brownish, grunching distress colors. Yeah, I think I have all of them. I might miss one. Let me know, guys, if I am missing one. Yeah, I'm not counting Antique Linen. Antique Linen is, oh my gosh, is with my normal colors. Antique Linen would sort of compete with tea dye. It's a very light color, but I put it with the other colors. Speaking of the other colors, yes, let me show you the other colors that I have from Ranger from Mr. Tim Holtz. So these are all the lovely colors that I have from Mr. Tim Holtz. He has way more. Yes, I am actually very happy that I didn't buy way more. Because here's the thing, guys. In my ignorance, I was thinking I want to stamp something with pink or something with red and green and blue. I was thinking I could use this for my clear stamps and my rubber stamps and such. And you can, but they don't leave like a nice, crisp, clear impression. Because distress oxides. It sort of bleeds and it looks distressed, and I actually don't like this. It's a me thing. So I bought all of these before I knew that Versafine Claire was the way to go for stamping, for lovely stamps. However, if you are a card maker, if you like mixed media, do blending and with stencils and all sorts of backgrounds and with splattering and what have you, it's fantastic. I cannot fault them. It's beautiful. Very good quality ink. Lovely, lovely colors. But I did not need all of these colors for what I want to do with them. So I'm happy I have them, but I do not... I'm not going to tell you to buy all of these because you don't need them. You don't need them. There are a couple of them that I really like, that I'm really happy that I have, for maybe a little bit of distressing on edges or doing some background stamping or background stenciling or what have you. All of them are in this area. Well, most of them. There are a couple of them down here that I really like Speckled Egg, another sort of very light color. I'm gonna tilt you a little bit, guys. Yes, very light color. You also have Lost Shadow, which is a very light color. I probably prefer the Speckled Egg. It's nice for sort of a background. Then let me take all of these out. Tilting the camera. There we go. There we go. These are all sort of the neutral-ish, grayish color. I have Pumice Stone, Hickory Smoke, like Hickory Smoke, Antique Linen. I like Antique Linen more than Scattered Straw. It's a little bit more yellow. And then the ones that I really love, Old Paper. It looks green here, but most of the times it's more like yellowed. So I love Old Paper. I loved Iced Spruce, a very good good color. So these three, Hickory Smoke, Old Paper, Iced Spruce, are, I think, must-haves. I really, really like these colors. If you're going to do a little bit of background stamping or background distressing or what have you, these are my absolute favorites. I'm really happy I have those. And I use these sometimes. But for instance, like all of these, Saltwater Taffy, and I love my reds and my pinks. They just don't do it for me. What is a good one is Wild Honey. I really like Wild Honey and Rusty Hinge. But you don't need both of them. Just one of them will do. A Rusty Hinge, of course, is a little bit more orange, a little bit darker. So yes, I would recommend this one. That goes here, and well, also this one. Honestly, these I just wouldn't. Is there a green one? Yes, Forest Moss. I really like Forest Moss. That is a lovely one. Because before I invested in the big pads, I invested in these. Now I think the minis only are in the distress inks and not in the distress oxide. Am I right? I think so. Oh, well, I have aged mahogany now in my hand, which is an amazing color. Yes, I have it in the distress ink. Shall I try it out in the oxide? I think it could be a completely different color. Yes, I do love aged mahogany. Yeah, I love it. So I tried out these, and I did love the Forest Moss. So these are some of my favorite. Victorian Velvet, not so much. Not so much. So I'm thinking that these might be my favorites. Yes, for distressing colors. Yeah, I'm not saying the rest is bad. I'm just saying that these are my favorites. Now, if you're going to start out, guys, and want to try some of these. The small ones. These are way more affordable. They are, of course, a lot smaller. And unfortunately, I don't think they are in the distress oxide. So, yes, these are my favorites of all the colors that I have. And I have about 30 of them. I am happy that I have them, guys. Of course I am. Of course I am. Is that it for distress oxide? Well, you're probably missing one color. What are you missing? Well, you're missing black. But I'm going to put all the black inks in a separate sort of category. Yeah? Okay. So conclusion. If you're a card maker, do lots of blending, distressing, mixed media, those are amazing if you want to use these for stamping, you know, with lovely dates from the past, or, you know, eccentric. These are not the ones for you. No. The Versafine Claire ones. But we're going to go in depth with the Versafine Claire ones because we're going to do swatches. Okay. I have another brand on my desk that I have something to say about. I have a couple of these Dewdrop Memento ink pads. Yes, I can try to be smart and tell you what fade resistant dye ink is, other than probably it is fade resistant and it's a dye ink. Okay. I am not that smart, guys. There's another one here that is Versa Magic, and it is a multi-surface chalk ink. Now, nowadays, I know a little bit of difference between normal ink and chalk ink. Chalk ink is just like a matte ink, like chalky. Yes, I just thought I liked the color. I didn't even look at what it really was. Now, I like them. Some of my favorite. This is probably one of my favorite red colors. I am really curious what the new red color from Versafine Claire is doing. This is, however, from the same brand, because this is also from Tsukineko. Yes, so the Dewdrops and the Versafine Claire are from the same sort of bigger company. I have a couple of colors. I adore my Peanut Brittle. Makes me hungry every time. Rich Cocoa, and this is probably my favorite color, red. So these are very, very good. The other ones are fantastic. I don't dislike them. I like the shape of them. You can stack them, yes, and you can also put them on their side. So they're cute. The color Wheat is sort of the same as Antique Linen. Sort of the same. Yes, I've had them for a while. They're probably, most of them would be dried out by now. But they're nice. They're nice. Affordable if you want to try something out. Yes, yes. So are these, well, I have a couple more that I found in a thrift shop, like metallic ones with shimmer and, well, no. Just no. But they do work very well with normal stamping, not distressing, right? Okay. 2 more brands on my desk. Yes, let me show you. I have this fantastic box with small archival inks from Ranger. Now, Ranger is also the brand that makes Mr. Tim Holtz's inks. These are not designed by Mr. Tim Holtz. However, this says Wendy something. Wendy something. Different inks. Now, these are acid-free, permanent, waterproof. Yes, so you can stamp on them. On fabric, then you can maybe even wash them. I don't really know, guys. So I just wanted to try these out. I actually bought these because I wanted to try them out with a die set that I have from Mr. Holtz with the label die set. I thought that this ink would work better. And that's the only time I tried them out. They're in here. I have not even swatched them. I cannot tell you anything about them. I need to start using them, right? But I'm a little bit hesitant because I think they will also stain your stamps. Catch my drift? Yes, if you stamp with them, then the color would be permanent on the stamp itself. So yes, well, I don't, especially with clear stamps, guys. If you're gonna use the cactus flower on the clear stamp, it'll be a purple stamp forever. Yeah, don't like it. So I'm a little bit hesitant. It's a lovely box. Do I recommend it? I don't know, because I don't know anything about it. Should I have bought it? No. That's with a lot of things that I should never have bought without, you know, doing some research. They're lovely. Cannot tell you that they're bad or good. I think they're okay. Gina K, I know Dooding has a big range of these colors, and the colors are lovely. This is the only one that I picked up, and the only one that I tried out. I don't think I can give you a good review on it because I only tried it once or twice, and also I only tried just the one color. I love the color. The color looked amazing, dark sage. However, I tried it with clear stamps and, you know, rubber stamps, and it's bleeding. It's bleeding. So it acts more like the Distress Oxide and the Distress inks, in my opinion. But I could be completely mistaken. Maybe I have a faulty one or a wrong color or what have you. But I won't be investing in more of these, unfortunately, because there's lots of lovely colors in them. Maybe you have a fantastic experiences with them. I unfortunately don't. So, and you know, I have Versafine Claire. And how many inks does one need? Well, apparently a lot. Now, there are more inks. You have StazOn. I'm going to touch on StazOn a little bit later, which is also from the Tsukineko foundation or brand. I don't know. And a couple of other ones that I've just never tried. So I cannot say anything about this. Okay, let me, before we do the swatching, because I really want to do the swatching, let me talk about my black inks and just one white one. Okay, black ink, very important. Also white ink. I just have the one. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. I think it's very important to have a good black ink. Because if you like stamping, like numbers or words or something, black is just the way to go if you want to have something crisp and clear. Now, I have the Tim Holtz Black Soot Distress ink. But because it's a distress ink, it sort of bleeds. So if you want a crisp image, a clear image, this is not the way to go. However, it's a nice one if you want to do some extra grungy distressing on the outer edges of your paper. Like you've been doing some distressing with ground espresso, but want the edges a little bit darker. This one. Now, there's probably also a Distress Oxide in black. I don't know. But I need to find out. I think I'm going to invest in a black oxide as well, just to try it out. Then, for the longest time, guys, I have stamped with StazOn Jet Black. There are a couple of things that I do not enjoy about this one. First of all, the scent of it. It smells like crushed almond, like marzipan, or it has a very strong scent to it. Yeah? Then, if you don't have this thing here anymore, it's completely dried out, guys. Because I don't use it anymore. If you don't have this thing, don't throw this out because it dries out. That's the only thing that's the other thing that I don't like. It dries out very, very quickly, in my opinion. Even with this thing on it. So I've used my StazOn Jet Black. And I even used it with the refill. So I refilled it a couple of times. And you can refill it like every month. Well, because I used it a lot. So that's what I didn't like about StazOn. It does stay on. Yes, it doesn't fade or whatever. That's why they call it StazOn. Yeah? It's also from Tsukineko. So I've used this forever. And I was sort of content with it. The smell, you know, okay, it had a smell, and I could refill it, so, and I still have a lot left. And then I found this one. Versafine Claire Nocturnal. It's like the blackest black ever. It's really nice, really juicy. I absolutely love it. If you have a new one, guys, if you buy a new one, it is so juicy. Be very careful not to press your stamp in too hard because it goes everywhere. It's fantastic. I've been stamping with this since forever. I have not re-inked it. I don't actually re-ink. I just have 2 re-inkers. I have walnut stain because that's what I've used for the longest time, and I have StazOn that I've used the most. I don't re-ink. I think I just buy a new one. So I've been using this for, well, 2 years, I think. And I have not had to replace it yet. I really like it. So, for a black ink, for stamping, yes? For me, this is absolutely the way to go. But maybe you have something else that I want to use. I'm open for suggestions. Don't suggest these 2. Because I've tried these. But if you, what I'm looking for in a black ink is that it doesn't bleed. It's black, black, black. Yes, very opaque. Doesn't have a smell and it's juicy. So actually I'm looking for this one. So for my blacks, yes, absolutely, Versafine Claire Nocturno. Then white ones. I've used a couple of them. I've used Picket Fence and 2 other ones. No, they just sort of fade. They just sort of fade. This to me is the best one. It's the Pigment Ink Hero Arts Unicorn. The only thing that I don't like about this, it doesn't stay on the Tim Holtz black craft cardstock that you can send. It doesn't stay on it, but otherwise it shows up on everything. So for white ink, absolutely this one. Now I have been told if you want your white sort of stamp, your image to sort of stay on there, to use your white ink and then the clear embossing powder or the white embossing powder. Yes, that's one step too much for me, but that's what I've been told, that you can do this to have a nicer, crisper white stamp. But I love this one. Yes, if you have a better one, please let me know, but I don't think you can. No, because I've used 4 or 5 or something like it. Cheap ones, expensive ones, and I don't use it often enough. It's just a really nice one. Was that all the brands that I have? Yes. Okay, guys, let's do some swatching. I'm going to do the swatching of the new colors. I'm going to make stickers on the sides of them, like I did with the Mr. Tim Holtz, because I need to store them somewhere where they are in plain sight. And then I have some accessories for stamping. Yes, like I have a system for my dollars. I have my dollars. I have brushes. I have more brushes. And I have an opinion on them. So let's do some swatches. Now, let me show you what I did with the Distress Oxides and inks and such from Mr. Tim Holtz. On their website, you can download a sheet, yes, with all the colors, the swatches, and then the name of the colors. Print it out and then, glue it on. So that's what I did with all the colors. I've been looking on the internet at, tsukineko.com, and I couldn't even find Versafine Claire on there for some, I don't know. So I've been searching for something similar, couldn't find it. So I'm going to make my own. However, this has the color and the name on it. What am I going to do for a name? I honestly don't know yet, guys, because my penmanship is the worst. So I could sort of write on it, but wouldn't work. So for now, I'm just going to put on a strippy on the sides with the color. So like a full color, yes. And maybe another strippy with a stamped image so that I can see sort of how it stamps. And for a name, I don't know. I might come up with a solution for this. But okay, it is what it is. I'm going to start with the new colors. So I could take out new brushes, new ink pads, and have all of them like I did with Mr. Tim Holtz. I'm not going to do it. It's a big investment. I'll probably never use the brushes or the daubers because this is mainly for inking. So here's how I'm going to go about it. I'm just going to open up the case. Yes. Hoping you can see there's a small label here. I'm just going to do this. Ta-da. See that? Yes. Gonna need to let it dry. This is matte paper. It is a little bit heavier. It is white. And I was also thinking to just put another stamp here. A small one that will fit on here. So I've taken Reserve. This is from Eccentric. But I do need to clean it after each sort of swatch. So yeah, well, here goes nothing. I'm gonna see, does it work? Yes. Oh, well, they're new, so they're very juicy. I'm gonna put it all the way to the bottom. Yes. Now, if I'm gonna put it in a new sort of ink pad, I really need to clean it. So I'm stamping it off as best as I can. Yes. And I've also taken out sort of a wet wipe. So I'm gonna put it over the wet wipe like so, and then stamping it dry again. Yes, for the new color, because the next one is, this was, by the way, avocado, and it's lovely green. If you want like a bright green, yes, to the avocado. Really nice. I'll probably will not be distressing with these ink pads, lovies. No. Ooh, that looks completely different. See this? Yes. Oh, but it does look really nice. It's like a beautiful sky blue. It's called Arctic. Arctic. Yes. And reserved. Reserved for Arctic. Oh, it's a pretty blue. I even like the combination. Like the combination. There you go. Now, I don't have all the colors, lovelies. Well, I have all the new colors. But from the, the collection as it was, I don't have all of them. Let's do something purplish. Lilac Bloom. Lilac Bloom. Can we, I'm going to skip a row, lovelies. I'm going to skip a row. There we go. Oh. Well, it's purple for you. That's purple for you. There we go. Lilac Bloom. And reserved. They're very opaque. They're very opaque. I think I'm gonna love them. I did this one, this one, this one. What else do we have? Something pink? Oh, yes. I'm hoping I'm gonna love this one. Now, I love pink. Do you? Yes, I really love pink. But I never sort of stamp with pink for some reason. Completely different color, right? Yes. Oh, it's the baby pink that I love. And there we go. And then, yes, well, that's my favorite color, pink, for sure. I was thinking, saltwater taffy, that would be lovely, or kitsch flamingo. This, by far, it's like a more cooler bluish pink. Bluish pink. Yes? Okay, what's up next? Bali Blue. Bali Blue? You're gonna skip another one? Yes, I'm gonna skip another one. Oh, look at that color. It's like the color of the ocean if you were on a tropical island. Which I am most definitely not. There you go. Reserved. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Now, I need to be honest. I have no clue when I'm going to use this. Because I don't do sort of bright colors. But, you never know. Let's do something I might use. Spruce. I do have iced spruce from Mr. Holtz. Which is a completely different color than this. But it's a lovely darker green. It's a very dark green. Oh, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes. Oh, that might become a favorite quickly. And there we go. Reserved. Oh, yes. Yeah. I do already have two colors. Colored green from Versafine Claire. But I think it's going to be my favorite. Oh, yes. Spruce. Nothing to do with ice spruce. Let's do strawberry. Not hungry at all. No. Okay. It's a red. It's a pretty red. I'm going to compare it to... Oh, it's so wet. I'm going to compare it, lovies, to the red that I already have. Which is probably Ladybug or... Was it Ladybug? I think so. Really clean it well, love. Because we do not want an imprint on the red ink pad. Let's see. Reserved. Oh, wow. Oh, well, there's red for you. For sure. Red. What else do we have? Very Perry. Very Perry. I know a digital designer that uses that name. What is it, guys? Is it a flower or... I have never heard of it. Very Perry. Also, is it Perry or Perry? Do not know. Do not know. Completely different color than the lid, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's almost a blue purple, a bluish purple. Like a denim blue type of. Oh yeah. Well, it's lavender. I like it. It looks like a blue color that I might use. There we go. Yes, I'm saving the best for last. Well, I'm hoping they are the best. The neutral colors. Ooh, I have grass green. I'm very curious how this swatches. Oh, look at that. Like a football field. Well, a soccer field. You call it soccer, we call it football. And you call football something else. That we call American football. That we actually don't play. Well, probably there are some clubs that play it, loves, but it's not a Dutch sport. Football, however. Oh, I love the color. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Oh, yes, I love this color. Wow. I don't even have anything in the Ranger, in my range collection, that looks remotely similar. So I'm very happy to have this one. Then the last sort of pretty color, which is Hawthorn Rose. Pinkish, purplish color. Yeah, well, more purplish. There we go. Aren't these pretty? So pretty, right? Yeah. Do we have a favorite? Oh, I love the dark. I love the dark green. I'm very curious if I like the other red equally. The other one that I have. Okay, now for the most important ones. These ones that I have high hopes for, because I think this would be sort of frayed burlap, and this would be sort of tea dye. But you know, they could be completely different. Okay, I'm gonna start with the lightest one. Sand dune. Okay. There you go. Look, it looks green. Okay, well. Oh, yes. Doesn't look at all like tea dye because it's less pink. Does it look like anything I have? Maybe antique linen? More antique linen? Ooh, but it's a cool one. I love it. I actually love it. Does not disappoint. Yeah. It's probably a must-have. I really like it. It's darker than on the picture. Now let's see what was it called? Portobello. It's a mushroom. What Portobello does. Please be amazing. Looks dark green. That is very dark. That is almost that looks more like scorched timber than. Okay. I did not expect this. I thought it might be lighter, but let's see how it stamps. Maybe I pressed too hard. It's more scorched timber. It's way darker than I thought. I am not unhappy with it, but I imagined it be more greener, frayed burlap kind of color. But it's actually more just, well, actually scorched timber. I do absolutely love the colors, but I thought this would be more green and I thought this would be more pink. They are not. However, they are fantastic. Absolutely love them. Okay, I need to let them dry. Some of them are still a little bit wet. And then I'm going to make some small strippies. Hopefully I can pair them to the colors that they were, because everything is, no. I'll find out. The red one and the green one are still wet. I probably sort of pushed too hard. So I'm just gonna start here. I've taken out my knife and I'm gonna make a small strippy. and do this. Have it straight, that'd be lovely. Did not do this straight at all, loves. Try this again. Yes, straight. Again, not straight. And here. So I have a small strippy with some white on the edges, but that's okay. I probably better use scissors. The knife thing didn't really work because is this straight? Not even close to straight. There we go. So I'm gonna put this on the top here. Lucky for me, it is sort of the right size. Yes, I'm gonna do the same with I'm gonna do this, guys. With reserved. Pokey tool, because they're stickers and I don't have any nails. What are you doing, love? I don't know. Don't know. They're all called reserved. Because they're all reserved for me. Oh, it does look good. It does give you a good representation of what it is. There's just no name on it. I might do something with a name, who knows. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do with all of them. That'll be boring to watch, guys, so I'm gonna do one more just to show you. This time I'm not even gonna take out my knife. I'm just gonna cut here, here. And this was Arctic Blue, Arctic. Yes. Now hopefully these stickers will sort of stick. If not, I'm gonna add glue. With the other ones, with the Tim Holtz ones that I did, I added glue eventually because, you know, they did let go of the case, yeah. Too big. See? And I will have them somewhere like so. Cool, right? I think it is. I think it's cool. I would have loved to have the name stamped in the collar. Yeah, then Versafine Claire needs to make stamps with the names. Let me do all of them, guys. And let's swatch the ones that I already had and sort of compare them to one another. Because I'm really curious about the red and the green, these two. Yeah, and Frayed, Frayed Bird Up, Fallen Leaves and this one, because they might be very similar. So here they all are. I just love the sight of it. It's just cool, right? So these are the new ones and these are the older ones, minus the black one. Love them. Yeah. As you can tell, in my previous collection, I had a lot of dark colors because that's what I use most, because I actually stamp with them. I don't distress with them. Also because I'm not a card maker or, well, apparently not a very cheerful person. I don't use a lot of, like, you know, bright, lovely colors, except for these two. So let me go through them with you. All of them are called reserved, so that's, you know, yeah. I have a yellow one. Cheerful. It's a bright yellow one. I don't know how many yellows you need. I have this one. And then an orange one is called Summertime. It's really orange. I'm gonna call this Dutch orange. If you're Dutchy, you know what I mean. It's like the Wimpel kleur. Like it's a color. Yeah. And then I'm gonna compare these two. The red one is not Ladybug, lovies. Ladybug is the one from Memento, which is also a completely different color to this one. Tulip Red. I absolutely love the color, but let's just compare it with Strawberry. Big difference, right? It is, yes. Way more orange, way more pink, if that is a thing. I actually really like this one because if you put it like this, it looks way more pink. If you stamp it, it is way more red. So it probably has more blue in it. I don't know. I am not a scientist or anything like it. And this probably has more yellow in it. Yeah. But I absolutely love this one. I think this is going to be my new favorite red, especially for the postal theme, right? Yes. Yeah. So, new favorite red, new favorite red. Then I had two, well, actually 3 blues in here. One blue, this one, looks almost black. And it is called Twilight. It is black with a bluish undertone. Yeah? It's really cool. I really like it. Then there's like the Bluebell. The postal blue. I'm gonna call this postal blue. I use this a lot for, you know, when I do airmail envelope thingies. Yeah. And then this is a Warm Breeze, like a turquoise blue. That was before I had this one. Yeah, so 3 completely different colored blues. Then let's just take these 2 out. This is Bali blue, a real turquoise in my opinion. And then this is reserved. It's not reserved, love. It's Arctic. And this is reserved. Really, is it? Yes, it's reserved for me. Arctic. It's like a grayish blue, more denim blue. I really like it. I think I will have a lot of use out of this one for sure, for sure. And then this is actually a lilac, so it could be a blue. Yeah, it actually looks really like the front of the cover. Yeah, some of them don't look like the front of the cover at all. Okay, for the greens, guys. These were the ones that I had. I had Rainforest, a lovely dark green, and then Green Oasis, more of a brighter green. And I absolutely love them. But now I have these. So I have Avocado, which does look nothing like it. So it is a color by itself. It's like a yellowish green. And I absolutely love it. Very bright. And then I'm going to sort of compare these two. This is Grass Green and Green Oasis. I love them both. They look a little bit similar, but then again, not at all. Not at all. So if I needed to pick one, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I love them both. And then the new one, Spruce, which is apparently a tree. Yes, they look very similar. However, this looks greener to me, and this a little bit more gray. They are different. This will probably be my new favorite green color for the projects that I use. So yes, new favorite, just like the red one. The red one again, new favorite. Yeah. What else? Well, this is a Chianti, which is apparently something you can drink. I don't drink alcohol, lovies. Yes, Hannibal Lecter drinks Chianti. And it very much reminds me of aged mahogany. It's a fantastic color. I highly recommend this one. Do I use it enough? No, I don't. But I forget I have it. But now I have the colors on there. And I'm going to put them in plain sight. Do not know where yet, but I'm going to put them in plain sight. Absolutely love this one. It has nothing to do with the other purples that are in the new kit. No, not at all. Not at all. Oh, I do love the baby pink. Yes, it's called baby pink. Oh my gosh. Yes. And then the darker colors that I have Morning Mist, which is a gray one. You can compare it to Hickory Smoke, but I prefer this one. Then we have Pine Cone, a brown one that looks very similar to my very favorite Fallen Leaves. Yeah, so this is the one that I use most. This is actually a new pad. I opened up a new one because I swatched the other one. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's hardly any inking left in there. But that's because, guys, I use it every day. Now, let's get the new one out, the Portobello, and add it to here. The Portobello is absolutely different. Absolutely, if you put them together, it is different. So let's take out the Pine Cone, because the Pine Cone is really more of a brown. So yeah, if you look at it this way, it is more a frayed burlap, for sure. For sure. This is ground espresso and this is frayed burlap, if you want to do a sort of a comparison. So I am extremely happy with this one. Yeah, I'm going to use it for sure, for sure. And then the older ones, yes, well, I have nothing like it. Sand Dune, it's not tea dye, it's not antique linen. It is just a fantastic, well, sand color. It really, really is. Could be fun. I don't do this, guys. Could be fun to use as a sort of a skin tone. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Was that all of them? Yeah, I absolutely love them. Do you want me to show the favorites of the new set, the absolute must-haves? Well, of course, this and this. Absolute must-haves. I absolutely love these. I am going to put the spruce next to it. The red for sure. The strawberry for sure. Yes. And these are already mine. Even though I absolutely love my blues and pinks, for me these are not must-haves. These are the real must-haves. Because I think I'm going to use them on well, very regularly. For the other colors, I would not skip up baby pink, the Arctic, and avocado, because they are unusual colors that I absolutely love, and I would use them. Yeah, so these. But if you like inks, I would get them all. Especially now that we know that Mr. Holtz is not going to release any more new colors. So focus on Versafine Claire now. That's what I'm doing. Yes? I absolutely love all of them. I need to find a place. As soon as I know where I'm going to put them, I'm going to let you guys know. But honestly, I don't know yet, guys. I don't know. Because there's a lot of them. Also, am I missing? Am I missing some? Am I missing out on colors that are not in my collection, guys? If you have a favorite, please let me know, because there's always room for more. Always room for more. Okay, that's it for the swatches. And let me tell you what I do for my blending tools and sort of storage for my blending tools. I'm going to start with the daubers, because that's what I use most. What I have on here are all the distressed colors. Well, I'm going to call them distressed colors. You know, walnut stain, black soot. I use these every day. Vintage photo, frayed burlap, ground espresso. Why is gathered twigs on here? We don't know. Tea dye, and well, this should say scorched timber. Now my fingers are dirty. Scorched timber. These are the colors I use most, except for gathered twigs. So I'm going to switch it out for something else. These are the normal size ones, and I prefer the flat sort of cushions on it. I don't know. There's a name. It just escaped my mind for a moment. So I have a couple of these spare. Yes, for a new color. I also have a spare one here. You can also use these guys for your sanding discs to sand. These are the big ones. Now, Mr. Tim also has the minis. Try them out with the domed cushions. I don't know, guys. So I have a couple of these small domed cushions. Honestly, I prefer the flat ones, the big flat ones. Yes. Look at this. I'm sorry, cat hair. I have cats on my desk all the time. I've used this like 2 or 3 times, and look how damaged it is. This is probably because of my style of, you know, distressing, because I just, you know, try to destroy it. But let's say ground espresso looks the same. Ground espresso I have probably never switched out. So I've been using this one for 3 years. Yes, and this 2 or 3 times. So I don't think I'm really fond of the domed ones. But that's just probably because I don't do crafts where you need them. Oh, I'm going to say it. I just don't feel the need for them. I don't feel the need for them. Also have some from Studio Light. Studio Light also has the daubers and, well, the domed. I don't know if they have the flat ones. The domed ones, they do feel softer. I might try these out, especially the small ones. also have a small one. Yeah. Maybe these are better. I don't know. And the way that I store them, yes, fantastic. This is a stamp carousel. I'm going to call it a carousel. It's where you can hang your office stamps on. It's not a thing anymore, guys. It is vintage. I found it in a thrift shop. It's just amazing, and it also turns around, even though I don't need this. But this is how I store them. Some people store them like this, but then I really have to look for the color. So I store them like this, which is handy because you can see the color. But they do catch a lot of dust and cat hair, and also when you grab them, your fingers are brown. but that's quite all right. So you can buy these in a pack, probably 2 dollars, and then a whole set of the pillows, cushions. It has a name. It just escaped my mind, guys. It's a nice investment, for sure. So I would get a set of these if you're gonna start out, because you can switch these out, guys. There's Velcro on here, so you put it on and then you take it off. But look at my fingers. If you take them off, your fingers will get dirty. Now, that is something that I really don't mind, because if I'm working with this, my finger's going to get dirty either way. The only reason why I have all of them like this, because I use them every day. Well, almost every day. But for the colored ones, yes, let me show you. Because you're supposed to have a different one for every color. I don't think I necessarily agree with this, because when I just started out, I had one for my blues, my reds, my greens, my browns. And I did try to sort of, clean them before I used it on another color. But I did not have different daubers for different colors. I do now. I'm going to show you my system. I have a vintage ring binder. Yes. A smaller one. 17 holes. Was it 17? I think so. I put in plastic pouches. Yes. And then in one of the plastic pouches, I put in a piece of paper. And I put on the color swatches. And then with Velcro, small Velcro dots, I attached the color. There are even sort of swatches, pillows on here that I have not used because I have not used the color yet. Yes, that's ridiculous. So when you close it up, the ink, I've used this, see, it comes on the plastic. So no worries there. See, all my reds, I have a spot left for a red one. All my blues, my greens that I use quite often. Apparently I used, see, Wild Honey, Rusty Hinge. I use Fossilized Amber as well. So that is how I store all my, and these are the colors that I have not bought yet or have not used yet. I don't even know. So I have spare ones. Yeah. So that's how I store them. So when I'm going to use saltwater taffy, I have a couple of these that are without a pillow. Just do this. Ta-da! Yes, there's pink on your hands, but I don't really care. I think buying a dauber for every color is a little bit much. So I just have some spare daubers and lots of these, because these you can buy separately, guys. Yes, you can buy these separately. And also, I just don't use them enough. And where do you store all of these? These empty ones are in a drawer, and this is also somewhere. So a very nice system. I like this system. It's not for everyone, because not everyone wants to get their hands dirty. I really don't mind. The other thing I use are blending brushes. Mainly when I want to sort of color a bigger surface, or for stenciling. If you put a stencil on and then, or if I want to make a white piece of paper a little bit more aged by using, probably going to use sand dune for now, and also tea dye. So that's what I use it for. Blending brushes. Now, I have 2 different sets. I have this one. These are actually makeup brushes. Believe me, guys, they work just the same. Now, I bought mine cheap years ago when I did makeup. I did do makeup. I loved it, but I don't do it anymore. And I use these for all my brown colors, for all the distressing. So the tea dye and the Vintage Photo and you name it. Then I have this set here from Studio Light with all the other brushes. They have them in different sizes as well. You have this and medium and big ones. I do not have the mediums at the moment. They all the handles also have a color so that you can sort of see what colors to use. Now, I did use them, yes. Am I going to use them a lot? No, because again, you need a separate brush for every color. I honestly really don't believe in this. I would get a brush for all my yellows, my oranges, my greens, my reds, my blues, and not for every shade of red that you have. Unless you're a mixed media artist, unless you use this all the time, then absolutely yes. The storage system is a thing. Yes, it is fantastic. You can just put them in. I do enjoy it, but it is locked away in a cupboard because I just don't use them often enough, and they are in the way if they're on my desk. But it is a lovely sort of it says let's get organized, an organizing system. They're very, very soft. Yes, I like them. Different brands have different brushes. I do not have a preference. Well, actually, I use these the most. So, guys, you can buy them in a craft shop. But if you're at the Dollar Tree or at Action and you find makeup brushes, try it out. Just try it out. You don't need to have a gazillion brushes for all the gazillion colors that you have. But it's a nice one, though. It's pretty. It is pretty. It is pretty. Yes? So that's what I use for blending and stenciling and such. Something else that I just want to show you, and this has nothing to do with ink. Well, it has a little bit to do with ink. This is how I stamp. I have acrylic stamp blocks. Now, these I bought in a craft shop at Doing. She has the ones from Simon Hurley, which is fantastic because it has a grid on and then you can sort of line it up, which I never do. But if you want to be more professional. And all the other ones, okay, sometimes I find a very cheap acrylic, a clear stamp set at Action or what have you. And sometimes it comes with acrylic block. Can I be honest? I buy them merely for the acrylic blocks because if you have to buy these separately, they can be quite expensive. Well, not really expensive, but you know. Before I had these, here's what I used, guys. Empty CD cases. Plexiglass coasters also work. If it is a sort of a flat glass or acrylic or plexiglass surface, it will work. Yes. So if you don't have all of these, and I find these at thrift shops and you name it. I especially like the smaller ones. I have a couple of these smaller ones because I use a lot of small stamps. Yes. And the very long one for my longer stamps. Now, if you have stamps that don't fit, then you're gonna need this. A stamping tool. There are several ones out there. Mr. Holtz has one. We Are Memory Keepers has one. This is by Fast and Creative. This is probably the least expensive one. Or I think Studio Light has one as well. Yes, it is fantastic. It is fantastic. You put your paper here. You secure it. Yes. Then you put your stamp on where you want it. You close it up. Press it. It is stuck against this one. You open it up. Ink, 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 stamp it. Also, what I most of the time use these for, if I have very intricate stamps with lots of details that I don't know if it will stamp in one go. Yeah? So I stamp it, open it up, needs more ink there, ink, 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 and then stamp it again. And the magnets are here to make sure your paper doesn't move, so you don't have like a double stamp. Does that make any sense? Yes. So yes, it is a very nice tool to have. You can also buy extra magnets. Yeah. And make sure if you have a smaller surface and a bigger stamp and you just want a part of the stamp to have a piece of paper underneath. Otherwise you'll be stamping on your tool and it will get very dirty. Not that that is a problem, but yeah, I like to keep mine sort of clean. It has a grid on. You can do all sorts of measuring. It has inches and centimeters and you name it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy I have this. It's not something that I'd recommend if you're just starting out, but if you're been doing this for a while, it's a very handy tool to have. Do I have anything else that is very good for stamping? Oh, alcohol. Okay, guys, this is what I found in thrift shops. You have these. I have different ones. Stamp cleaners. And these are old ones. And, well, they work. They work. You can clean your stamps with them. I just have alcohol. Not to drink, guys. I don't drink alcohol. Do I have some here? This is my new one. Yes, I buy alcohol. 96% at my drugstore. And I put some on a cotton swab and then I clean it. It's probably not the best thing. Maybe it will damage your stamps. I don't really know. But this cleans it the best. Also from other surfaces, I clean this with them. I clean this with them. I clean my mat and such. Yeah. So if you do stamping, you need alcohol. What also works is hand sanitizer because it has a little bit of alcohol in it. And if you have very inky fingers, especially under your nails, and you cannot clean it, go take a shower, wash your hair. Honestly, guys, it works. It works. Somehow, the shampoo and your hair underneath your fingernails, it just works. So that is my tip. Anything else? No, I think that is it. A lot of information. Again, I am not an expert. This is just the things that I have experienced and come up with and work for me. You probably are grinching and saying, oh no, don't do alcohol. I'm sorry, I'm doing alcohol. It works for me. Yeah? Guys, please let me know if you have any more tips, not just for me, but for the other viewers that are reading the comments. If you have any more tips, any more brands that you want me to take a look in, or colors, or storage solutions, and such, I am curious. Please let me know. Let me know. Yeah, is that it for today? That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Different video, yes, a little bit informative. But I enjoy making these. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye guys.